that's always a tough one. We do our best. We play a good selection of songs. I hope. We have done so many albums now that there is no chance playing everything, and even trying to play one song from each album is difficult because it's long songs and all that stuff. So, but we have done a lot of touring lately, US, Europe, and Eastern Europe, and Greece, and so we have a kind of a selection of songs that I think you guys will enjoy a lot. We actually, to be honest, we finished the album 1 week ago, exactly today. We had a deadline last Friday. So the master is done, everything is done, the cover is ready and done. And so now it's more like start working on promo videos and all that stuff. So the album is finished, actually. We don't have any exact release date, but it will be early next year. I think like around late February next year. I mean, it's a crazy cool package, and then we are so happy to be part of it because back in the day, Leprous is good friends of us, and Bor, the drummer, was our old drummer, so we know the guys well, and such a fun to hang around with those guys. Extremely good musicians and great friends and everything. And also, the icing on the cake is also, the Inflame guys. I mean, the very first tour we did in Europe in 97 or 8. It's a long time ago, all over 25 years ago. We did a tour with In Flames back in the day. So, I've known the guys. We haven't, had too much to do with each other the last 20 years, though. But Björn and the guys, it'd be awesome to play with them and meet them again and stuff like that. So it's a really kind of almost like a family union, a reunion.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm pretty sure that the atmosphere will be amazing. I would say a lot, not only, but a lot. I mean, back in the days when black metal became a thing in Bergen and Oslo, yeah. I was kind of young kid at that point, and back then the scene was small. Mm-hmm. So I think that everybody knew each other. We was hanging around in the same pubs, and we were sharing rehearsal rooms and stuff like that. So, I think I'm not sure if the black metal music per se have inspired me more than, for example, classic music, or more than, for example, Metallica, thrash, death metal. I've always had a very open mind when it comes to music. Mm-hmm. But of course, the mentality, maybe, the basic tone of the band, was established when the whole thing with the black metal was kind of on the rise in Norway, and after that in the whole of Europe, basically. But I still remember those days as glorious days. It was very creative, a lot of passion going on. I wasn't involved in any criminality because I wasn't out for doing that shit. I was out for doing music and only music. So for me, all those church burnings and all that corpse paint and death and destruction kind of thing wasn't really my cup of tea. I was much more into the music itself. But of course, through growing up with this, the whole scene back then, a lot of the mentality, I think, influenced me a lot. This I don't know how to put the words on it really, but there was a very energetic and very kind of leaning forward atmosphere back then, very creative, very kind of almost like a little bit competition. Back then there was no internet, there was no social media, there was no mobile phones and stuff. So everything happened in the old way, the analog way. We was meeting in pubs, and if I wanted to tell a musician or a friend or whatever about my new song or my new ideas, I had to tell him about it. I couldn't flip up my phone and show him the latest cover or drawing or logo. I couldn't, play him a song on Spotify or something like that. We had to talk about it. So it was, in a sense, very kind of analog, natural, and the tightness of the scene was really passionate back then. Of course, I was inspired by that as everybody else in the scene, of course. But I was never only into black metal or only into death metal. I was always that kind of guy that listened to both death metal and black metal and classic music and Pink Floyd, And I didn't really want to. As a musician, I didn't want to throw all my cards into this fire of black metal. I wanted to. I never used corpse paint. I refused to use that. I always used my own name, my real name as a musician, because I want to be proud of what I'm doing. I don't want to hide behind a mask or hide behind a imagery, if you get my point. For me, honesty has always been a very golden virtue in music. I want to see people in the eyes when I do my music, not literally just on the stage, but also through my music. When people listen to my music, I've always been striving to try to get my music as honest as possible, so that when the listener listens to my music, that they feel there is a personal connection in a way. Yeah. That there is not a lot of, imagery between us. There is a lot of producer in between us. There is a lot of things going on between us. And back there is my music, if you get my point. I want my music, I want my dialogue with the fans, with the listener of music, to be direct. I want to make sure, I always strive doing that, to be, there is a personal thing I give you as a listener. And so that has been a kind of maybe a different, but my approach to this whole thing. Oh yes, I mean, there is everything from, I remember back once we the bus was not working, I think it was in Europe someplace, and in the end of it's a long story, but in the end of the day, we fixed a bus with one guitar string. That was quite funny. Cool, maybe. There was some break stuff, and at the end of the day, we fixed the whole thing with some guitar strings, and that was kind of funny. Cool thing. I don't, it's a difficult question. Big jokes, small jokes. We had a real good time in the US with Rotten Christ guys. Yeah. They're very serious when we did the US tour back a year ago, something like that. A lot of funny moments. Those guys are really serious and really good guys, but they also have extremely good sense of humor. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's really hard to say what's the most crazy thing, but there's been a lot for sure. This is me. This is Øystein from Borknagar. We're heading your way in a couple of weeks. I don't remember how many days, but a couple of weeks, I guess. And we are really looking forward. Playing in South America is some of the coolest thing ever. Really passionate fans, and we enjoy it a lot. We are looking forward. Yeah, really looking forward to do the shows in Costa Rica, in Mexico, and Santiago in a couple of weeks. It will be a good time, I'm pretty sure.